Now, the United Kingdom is bustling with excitement as the country is preparing for the coronation of King Charles III. The royal ceremony is scheduled to take place in the Westminster Abbey on the 6th of May, followed by a concert on the 7th of May at the Windsor Castle grounds. The United Kingdom has pulled out all stops to celebrate this occasion, and the royal parade will have nearly about 8,000 people participating, with over 700 guardsmen, officers and band members rehearsing for the King's procession from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Abbey. From vestments to religious relics, everything involved in King Charles III's coronation holds symbolic significance. The coronation glove that the King will use will be made was worn by his grandfather, King George, at the time of his coronation.
He's wearing his grandfather's, and how wonderful. You know, we've got this wonderful, sustainable, eco-friendly king who's reusing something rather than having a new glove. And obviously there's so much work that goes into the glove. It saved all that, and it's also a little bit of heritage, a bit of looking back to the past for our very modern king.
The royal fans are also excited to see King Charles's coronation as their homes are filled with royal photos and Union flags. Some rooms have even been named after members of the royal family.
The plate is one of my favourites, with the old Queen Mother waving, and behind the trophy there is, I can't see him. I forget their names half the time. The old age catching me up. But William and Kate has always been one of my favourites. The two lads, when they were together, they were my favourites. And they're still married.
The ceremony will also mark many firsts during this pretty momentous event in British history. For the first time in Britain's history, the people of Britain, interestingly, have been invited to take a pledge of true allegiance to the King and his heirs and successors. The declaration, which will be known as the Chorus of the People, will replace the traditional homage of peers. Reports also suggest that the United Kingdom's non-Christian communities, including the Muslim, Sikh, Buddhist, Hindu and Jewish communities, will deliver a greeting at the coronation as neighbours of faith. Now, for many people across Britain, the coronation ceremony revives memories of Queen Elizabeth II's coronation 7 decades ago, and it gives a lot of the younger generation to experience a coronation ceremony in the traditional British way. The late Queen's coronation was a symbol of a new beginning for the United Kingdom. Something quite contrasting today, as millions of Britons are facing the biggest squeeze in living standards since records began to be kept. To give us more updates in terms of what exactly is happening in Britain at this point of time, we're being joined in by Molly Gambhir, who's joining us live from London. Molly, this of course is a pretty important event in British royal history. Preparations are underway for the coronation of King Charles III. You're talking to people on the ground in London. Tell us, what's the sense out there that the people are saying about this coronation ceremony that will be witnessed on the 6th of May?
Well, of course, you're right. The streets of London have been buzzing with excitement. The enthusiasm levels have only been soaring, and why not? After all, this is a ceremony that the city has not witnessed in 70 long years. Now, that, of course, is apart from the fact that a lot of questions have also been buzzing through the streets. Questions like, why spend so much on a ceremony at a time when the UK, the common man in the UK, has been dealing with the cost of living crisis, which the people have been bearing the brunt of. off. But on the other side, we talk to people who tell us that the royal family, the monarchy for them is more about continuity, is more about tradition, and which is why they passionately believe in upholding the tradition and, of course, are very excited about the coronation ceremony as well. Now, that's just to give you a sense of the diverse opinions on the ground when we speak to people. But just to take a step back and give you a further idea of the way London has been gearing up for this ceremony, of course, just 4 days to go, and we have seen a lot of construction as well wherever we are going, to try and revamp the pavements, the roads, wherever we've been traveling through the arterial roads of Buckingham Palace as well, because after all, that is the coronation procession route when it, will be traveling between Westminster Abbey and Buckingham Palace. That's about over a 1 mile long route where we will see the coronation procession along with those crowds who will be gathering since early hours of the morning on the 6th of May just to catch a glimpse of the King and Queen, who, by the way, have selected the coronation quiche as the signature dish this time, and that is something which will be a part of the coronation big lunch as well, which of course is a major part of the tradition. So Salih, we are looking at an event, a party which is a nationwide affair. We have celebrations that are within households, within communities, but this is something that we are seeing across the country, and this, by the way, is just getting started. Of course, in the days ahead, we will only see the preparations heating up, and we will be getting a better sense of the fervor that London has been waiting for, in a way, for 70 years.
Absolutely, indeed. And also, Wally, it gives a sense about, the age gap between the British people. According to many polls and surveys within Britain, it's being said that it is the older generation in Britain that is so excited and is so anxiously looking forward for this coronation ceremony. But the younger generation are not that thrilled about the monarchy. They're not that warmed up towards the way the monarchy has been, going about its business in Britain. So this coronation ceremony is in fact something that the older generation within Britain is more looking forward to, but the younger generation is not. Tell us a bit about that.
Right, the numbers speak for themselves, Salil. Let me just tell you what a recent poll, in fact, found, that nearly 40% of the 18 to 24-year-olds in the UK would prefer an elected head of state. Now, that in itself tells you what the sentiment is like within that community. But then a sharp contrast when you look at the numbers and the sentiment among the group of over 65-year-olds. And they are most likely to support the monarchy at 78%, but clearly it is a lot less popular among the younger generations, and which is something that we also, got a sense of while we were speaking to people across London. When you talk to these people who say that it is an outdated concept, that they no longer connect with it, that they feel like it is something which is something that they can't even relate to. But the older population that we have been, some of them we've been speaking to as well, and they have been talking about how, again, this is about continuity, it's about tradition, and I have to say the bigger question has been, the common thread has been the kind of money that is spent on both sides. One would say that, well, this attracts tourism. The royal family also helps in generating tourism-related money. But on the other hand, spending millions on a ceremony for which, by the way, no concrete budget has been revealed. Predictions have been suggesting 50 to 100 million euros is the money that we are looking at that's going to be spent on the coronation ceremony. But, spending all that money at a time when people have been struggling with the rising cost of living is something that also has been dividing the opinion on the ground.
Absolutely indeed, Polly. Thank you very much indeed for joining us and getting us all those insights from Britain there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.